There we go. Like I was saying, I'm glad you guys could come out today to enjoy the live broadcast. We're multi-streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Unfortunately, I'm using my cell phone to stream Facebook. So if you guys come in here on Facebook, I may or may not see if you drop me any comments. But the project we got today is a trailer with dual 7,000 pound axles. And the main problem we got is the trailer lights on the back end have been ripped out, which is a problem with these dovetail trailers because the back end sits so low. But also, while I was pulling it down here, I noticed that the trailer brakes, they don't really work. They will show up as connected on the on-screen display or on my own dash display, but when you go to manually activate the brakes with the controller or push the brake pedal, it shows that the brakes are disconnected, which that kind of tells me that the ground is probably overloaded. So, and then this trailer being an older trailer, I'm gonna break it down just to inspect the hubs and everything as well. Also, this trailer only has one brake axle, so we're gonna slide down a little bit. All right, guys, so come on with me. We're gonna move on down a little bit. And if at any time during this broadcast you guys have a question or comment that you're curious about, feel free to let me know. I don't know if this trailer's ever had the wheels taken off of it, at least not in a while. I'm not quite sure what kind of condition it's going to be in. Yeah, not good. I've never seen a brake drum that rusted. Let me there it is. Now, this is a good clue right here. This brake, this grease cap, you can't even see where it's separated. It's supposed to have a seam. There we go. Well, these parts don't look very old, but they don't look like they have very much grease in them either. So that really want grease to be in the grease caps. It helps a lot of stuff. You see that on my how clean that is? Which is nice that it's clean because it's not greasy, but it concerns me that there's no grease inside this cap. because on all of my trailers, which I like to have grease inside there, these bearings. Because, you know, grease keeps it from overheating and like melting your drums. That's the these bearings. You guys see the bearings are supposed to have grease in them, and this one has no grease in it. So whoever assembled this did not put grease inside the bearings. Wow. You guys can't see this, but these brake pads are covered in spider webs. And let's see here. It looks like there's more dirt inside these brake drums than there are brake dust. You see how that's built up right there? There's not really a whole lot of grease packed in that intercostal space. What do you want to call that space between the drum and the back bearing and the front bearing. I'm going to knock this bearing out and I'll show you guys what the inside bearing looks like. All right, I don't have to change gloves for this. These gloves right here, guys, they're important because you're going to use a lot of them dealing with these. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll just use my pliers. That way I can just. All right, guys, you see that? It's not packed with grease like it's supposed to. So this seal, I mean, we might could reuse this seal, but if you're going to do anything strenuous with this trailer, like, you know, more than within the county, I would definitely suggest replacing that. Let's see. So all right, well, this is probably the reason why we can't get no connection on this side. The brakes are wired into the axle with snap connectors, guys. Hang on, let me get one off and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. These things ain't worth having. And I couldn't tell you how many times I have worked on my trailers after me paying somebody good money to fix it, put these garbage connectors on here. All right, let me get this out of here. All right. So let me show you guys this right here. All right, this is what I was talking about, a snap connector. And it's got this little tiny blade in it. You see those grooves right there, Facebook? All right, you see that, YouTube? All right, the wires slide between the little grooves on this blade, and it's inside this housing right here. And when you close it and you snap it down, it's supposed to cut into the wire, making a circuit. But more often than not, they never actually work right. And what ends up happening is you lose connectivity when you go from the wires to the trailer brakes. Because if you look at this magnet right here, this magnet still looks brand new. Like, I would bet you $100 this magnet has no problems in it at all. Now, this brake plate, whether it functions or not is another question. All right, so this trailer right here is probably not going to work very well. Let's see here. Trying to think of something. I need a battery. I need a battery. I'll tell you what, we'll wire these up right fast and just to see if this thing's working like it's supposed to. Sometimes the wires that are ran through the center of the axle, like these are, inside the axle, like, because the wires actually go inside the axle, run through the inner part because it's hollow. And then see, there's one that's not all tore apart, guys. You see how it's got that blade inside there. That's where the wires go, but they don't work right. Sometimes a wire will rub inside that axle and it'll short out, but we're going to find out if that's what's going on. So hang on, I'm going to the other side right fast and I'll be, well, let's see here. All right, guys. You guys may not be able to see this. All right. Well, that's a pretty hefty little Jesus fucking Christ. That's about all I can say. That's about all I can say. Let me find my wire snippers, guys. Hang on. There we go. Find my wires. All right, guys. Just for testing purposes, comes my niece and nephew. They'll probably be able to help us. All right, just for testing purposes, we're about to start snipping some wires and getting some stuff connected to see if we got, see what kind of problems we got going on under here. There we go. The best wire snippers I've used, these little bitty cheap Stanleys you get from Walmart. They're like $2 or something. All right, so we got our wires coming from the tray or from the truck to the axles.
Jesse, want a taco?
Do what?
A taco.
You can get me one. Yeah, that's fine.
Hard shell or soft?
What?
Hard or soft shell?
Oh, I don't care. Let's see. Here's the wires going to this brake assembly. Slip them on. And then we got.
I got blue. That's better than.
I'm doing these snap connectors. Guys, if you guys ever get anybody that does work for you and they're using these snap connectors, just take it back to them. Don't even just argue with them about the quality of their work because they're garbage. I mean, they're open-ended, so if it rains or whatever, it's going to get in there and short out. And then, dirt and debris build up in them like this one has. So then you run into the problem you have. Like, there's no telling how long it's been since these brakes have worked, because, you can't tell me that brakes are working when you got spiders building nests and shit inside your brake drums. Hold on now. There we go. All right, so this is what I was talking about, the wire that goes through your axle right here. It's actually inside of here. All right, we're just going to do a quick snip, snip, and a strip. Now, the thing about magnets, guys, on like these trailers is they're not, they don't have a specific polarity, which means they don't really have a true ground and a true positive going to the magnet. It's the same either way. So you're not going to wire them up backwards, but just for a reference, I like to at least have wires that are coded that I know which is which God bless. I hope I'm about 100%. It's just temporarily just wired together, which is not, solution. This is just to make sure that magnet works. So, and then what this will also let us know is if this mess right here is working. All right. Let's slide over here. All right. So what we're going to have to do, if that mess is not working, is resplice those together until we can get a good enough connection somewhere to make this magnet work. And then there's also the possibility that the magnet's just a piece of crap. Don't work. But from looking at that magnet, it doesn't look like it's ever worked. This looks like some of your local shops over in the Tri-Cities areas, handy dandy work. So we're about to find out. Let's see. And remember, you need at least one magnet wired up to the system properly to make sure your system's actually working like it should be working. All right. And if it is working, you will definitely hear the magnet. It should make like a humming sound. All right, I'm gonna go crank it up and put the brakes engaged. right, guys, coming back. We got trailer brake engaged, and see if this magnet works. The magnet doesn't work, so that means we got a wiring problem further up the trailer than right here. All right, so back under the trailer. All right, and this is kind of why I like to have several brakes in the trailer wiring. That way you can test different places throughout the trailer to make sure you got connectivity. All right, so right here we don't have any connectivity going to this intersection right here. So that means we got to move further up the circuit. Guys, you can see this big old nice jumbled up bunch of wires we got that I don't, let's see, here we go. Now, this is a nightmare right here. Jesus, ever loving Christ. Wow. All right, so we're gonna have to cut all this mess out of here in order to get this thing going. And we don't have, like, all right, what do we got here? We got then we got this broken. Whew, Jesus Christ, guys, this is oh, that's lovely. If you ever see this after you pay somebody to do your trailer work, just get rid of them. Just go on and get rid of them. All right, so we're looking for wires that are going So basically what I'm going to have to do now, guys, is go all the way to the truck. When you have something like this, it would probably just be easier to go all the way to the front of the trailer and just start over with running the lights back down, because this thing is just god awful. I mean, you can see here that I'm actually having to untie the supposedly this is the hot wire. I don't, not 100% certain, but this wire, all right, this wire goes to the, I believe, the brake lights, which the brake lights are working. They do work. So this wire should be good. This is probably bad. Let me cut this right here and strip it and see what we get. This does not need to be. All right, let's see. Drop the other way. We're getting nothing right here. Well, I got some.
moved a little bit. All right, so we're probably got circuit coming to right here. Let's unravel this and see what we got. See if we. That's embarrassing. Who in the world does that? All right. So we're gonna see if we got electricity coming from there. Nothing that way. Let's swap them and see what we got. Down the standard a little bit. All right, we got a little bit of power. We had to turn it from 50 volts to 10. So we do got power coming, but it needs to be a lot higher. And now we know this wire is the hot wire. So I bet you if we take this snap connector out of here, guys, find all kinds of untapped electricity. Out of here. Screwdriver here. Get this thing pried open. All right, let's see what we can do now. You gotta remember which one the hot and which one the ground was. Let's see here. That one there. Might be backwards. All right. All right. All right, we're getting it there. We're in here. All right, so that ought to tell you something. These little snap connector stuff. All right, so getting rid of this. And I'll show you what we're going to do instead. All right, so what we're going to do instead of this, that's working. All right, so we still need a wire going to these two outside brake lights, but we also need this. It's white, so I'm just going to assume that it's the ground wire. Let me double check. Depending on who wired it up, it could go either way. Maybe it's the hot wire. Anyway, all right, so what we're going to do with this is I'm going to cut this wire and I'm going to strip it. And I'm going to put a heat shrink in there that is going to give us a lot better connectivity. Now, I may just run some brand new wire in there while I'm at it. All right, where's my wire strippers? There we are. Just so I can also get a gauge on how connective. All these wires are still going to need to be wired together for everything to work. All right, let's try this again. Our ground. That's working. So this black wire is the positive and the white wire is the negative. But it's still getting really, really horrendous connectivity down on this end. All right, so what that leads me to believe is there's another circuit further towards the front of the trailer that is not getting it's not getting could also be this other wire right here, because putting this on 10, it should just blast it all the way to the other side. All right, so now what I'm going to do is snip this wire as well so that we can see if our connection, it's the problem's right here or further up the trailer.
As it would help you down there if you had that creeper.
No, I'm up here near the deck.
Disconnect that battery charger with that battery.
All right, let's see here. What did I say? The black is the positive and the white is the negative. Let's see what our little circuit tester does. Well, I don't seem to be making it. All right, now we've lost all power. All right, so we've undone some of the wires, and now we seem to have lost all power. All right, so when this happens, you just gotta run it all the way back to the truck. But I do believe we have two wires here that are the trailer brake wire and the run to those two outside lights. All right, guys, so I'm going to dive a little more in depth. Hey, Mickey, you're watching. What do you think about this right here? We got this this nice little bird nest going on, and we have the trailer brakes. The magnets weren't getting any power to them, and we were getting a very low voltage behind all these snap connectors. So we took those out, and now we have the two wires, the positive and the negative, that are going to the brakes. And I tested those behind the snaps, and now we have no connection, no power at all. Essentially, all power. So I figure what we're going to have to do now is we're going to have to go further up the front of the trailer to the plug, and probably just put fresh wire in. That way I know which circuit is which. I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt to just go ahead and change this trailer because right now it's on a 6-pin into a 7-pin adapter, and it would probably end up being a whole lot easier in the long run just doing a 7-pin plug rewiring the trailer from there, because let's face it, guys, this trailer is going to need some work. But if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you want a quote on what your trailer needs, leave me a comment below down here, or send me a message. Also, we offer pickup and delivery services. If your trailer is in need of repair and you don't have time to bring it here, we will come and get it. And oh yeah, if you bring me a receipt from where you've had work done at a local shop, the guy's also a big Tex dealer, and you have some shit like this going on from where you paid him, bring me the receipt and I'll give you 10% off. So that's going to be it, guys. I'll try to live show the rewiring of the plug, and we'll see you guys later. Just like I said, guys, if you guys have had any work done at a local dealer, the Tri-Cities is near a car dealership, and they're a big Tex trailer dealer, and you have a bunch of crap like this going on with these little snap connectors, bring me the receipt to where you had the work done, and I'll give you 10% off. Till next time, guys.